Well, hi there, everyone. How's it going? It's October 16th, 2022. The date doesn't really matter, though. This video is about updating the NHL Algorithm Excel file that I've created in Microsoft Excel. I am a hockey player, actually know something about the sport, and really enjoy watching hockey. So the hockey one's a really fun one. And this is the video that will explain to you what is going on. There's a bunch of colors, there's a bunch of tabs. Like, how does anyone understand what is happening in here and use this? And you're right to wonder, how do you throw all this stuff together to get something meaningful and know that it's done correctly? And it's actually kind of a methodical process that only has like 4 or 5 steps every day, and it's really not that bad. So I'll talk about it, and also I think we're going to leave ourselves with something to be desired for the predictions for Monday the 17th, because I'm not really going to update goalies. I'm going to show you how to do it, but we're not going to do all of them for Monday because when we don't know who the confirmed goalies are. And two, there's something about the import process that I'll go over and why it's really annoying to update the goalies when it's not the current day due to the way that RotoWire displays their goaltenders. For example, this is the problem. This is the only weird thing with this file where you have to do something and you can't paste what you want. So the starting goalies for Monday are not here because it's not today, but they are here in the next 7 days. And I haven't written an extractor to copy all this and sort it out in the proper days because this actually is a quite valuable resource. And maybe that's me being lazy, but I mean, not a lot of people are buying the NHL algorithm, so I don't put a ton of extra effort into it. I'll just wait until Monday to copy the day's version and it will work. You're going to copy that right here. Well, we can't do it right now because it's not Monday yet. So the RotoWire setup's not correct. So we'll talk about what to do with goalies at the end of this video. But I'm going to show you rather quickly how to update all the other sheets and be confident that you're doing it correctly, right? So first thing is the odds sheet, all right? So this one is provided by RotoWire. When you go to sports betting, NHL odds, that will pop up and the CSV will come out and it will look like this when you open it up, and you can just paste it right here, or you can keep pasting down if you want to do further games as far as all of these formulas go. But I like to do just one day at a time because you only really need to do one day at a time. Once you do that, you get everything you need except for a couple errors are showing up in what we need to have a final prediction. You need to have a power strength for the team and you need to have a goalie starter. Well, the power strength is actually related to which goalie is in here. So that's the reason this one's an error. So the goalie is the problem. Now, you could just manually override things here. You could say, here's your goalie sheet where you have all your goalie stats. You could say, well, who's the Florida goaltender who's probably going to play? Is it going to be Bobrovsky? Well, I'm just going to go put Bobrovsky right here. And that's all of a sudden going to start to create stats. And who's going to play for the Bruins? Is it going to be Swayman? If I spelled the name right, that's not right. It is right. All right, I spelled his name right. Then it'll start to show you a comparison, and then you'll start to be able to copy all this and paste it into the cube right here and have your predictions for the day. I'll actually do a point prediction. So all of a sudden, Florida's actually supposed to win this game 5-4 based on what, Ken? Oh yeah, based on this year's stats, because I already updated this thing. Wow, this is fun. So maybe we will go through every game because I'm excited. All right, let's talk about what happened. So before this video, I went in to RotoWire and I went to the injury report, and you got to grab the current injury report. Okay, export the injury report and put the injury report right here. Let's put this in order of what you normally do. Normally you start with the injury report because that's one you have to update frequently, and you'd like to know right before a game if somebody's out, and sometimes you might not know until right before the game. So the injury report's a good one to update frequently and repaste here. Okay, there's that one. Then there's player stats and goalie stats. Okay, which are actually really easy, right? This is just an export right here. That's all this is. It's an export coming right out of RotoWire under stats, NHL stats, and it's skater and goalie. So that's the player and the goalie. You grab both of these, right? You export both of those, and you paste the players one in the PStat one right here. And as you paste it, you're going to want to go to the bottom And you're going to want to look over to the left, and you're also going to want to resort this to see if there are any errors here, because that would mean that we don't have a player in the matrix. And we would have to add that player down here additionally in the matrix. The matrix consists of an area we have to enter in the name. So let's remove somebody for a second, and I'll show you what I mean, because this is important, because you're going to have to do this daily as new players come in. So let's go to we'll look at our player stat for a second, and let's assume that what's a great name to pick up? Zemgus Gergensons. He's actually a good player. I like him. Let's pretend that he's not in here. Okay. We'll find him, and we're going to get rid of his stats. So he's gone, right? Now, all of a sudden, when you look back at the P stat sheet, you see an error here. And if we had sorted everybody by errors, this is what I usually do, is I sort that top to bottom, and the errors pop up at the bottom. He's here. So that means we have to fix him. We have to add him. So you grab these 3 pieces of information, and you add them to the next available row, and you copy his name right here as well. And then everything will pop up, and there will be no errors. Now, there will start to be errors here throughout the season. This is the error check column. So as there are errors throughout the season and people change teams or get traded or whatever, this will pop up as an oh no, and then we'll have to look at, whatever this is, P or G stat team is what this team is. And this is doing a formula right here. Oops. It's doing a formula that's looking for the name on the player stat or the goalie stat sheet. And then it's checking to see if it's the correct name that just came in our matrix, because this is our master matrix right here. So every time it says okay, it's fine. If you changed a team on somebody and made Tony DeAngelo play on Vancouver, you'll get an oh no is going to pop up right here. And the oh no, which we should make those in red, and so we will. Oh no, that's right. That will mean that either your matrix or your player stat team name is wrong. And in this case, we know it is the matrix that is wrong. We're going to fix it because Tony DeAngelo actually does play for the Flyers. All right. And there's a different formula for players and for goalies, as you'll see. So the goalie formula is in green, and you'll see these things start to look green when we get to the bottom. These are the goalies. This is a different formula. It's looking at a different sheet. So remember that when you enter in goalies, you need to copy this formula and not the formula that's in there. I know I said that really fast, but you'll start to see as you work with the file. All right, so we just did player stats. Goalie stats was the other one you got to paste. You got to paste goalie stats in here. And when new goalies come in, who do not have any stats for the year, you're going to have to enter in fake stats for them or last year's stats for them. And you're going to have to give them a C-score, essentially. So we can give them last year's C-score, or we'll just deal with that on a day-by-day basis. But that's what you have to do, because now we only have current season stats in here right now. So a lot of these goalies are going to have played 1 or 2 games tops, right? Well, that's your goalie stats being pasted in. Daily odds we already did. The cube, we are recreating the cube once we get all the goalies in here is the problem. We don't have goalies because we can't paste the goalie area, which goes right here, right? It's this thing. It's under fantasy, it's under lineups, it's under starting goalies. However, it's not there, so we can't paste it, but we could do this manually. And we could grab these names, Vamilka, Ulmark, and we could add them in, and that would get us a projection for all these other games. I'm not actually going to do that in the video because it's too long, and I also don't want to give it away for free. Like, if you paid for this, then you can do this yourself also and run it. So I don't want to give it all away in the video and waste the time. But you're going to put Karel Vamilka's name in there, and I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to I want to know the score of this game, actually. Hold on. Karel Vamilka playing on Arizona, going up against Toronto's goalie, who's going to be it's probably going to be Murray, actually. I think they'll go with Murray in that game. So let's put Murray there. Of course, it might be Samsonov. And the score of this game, after you take this now and paste it in the cube, right here, score of this game ends up being, 7-5. So, wow. All right. So our scores are a little high. Wow. But I don't know what to do about that, honestly. We're going to have to go day by day here. The other sheet, sorry, there's one other sheet because the results pivot is related to your cube, so you should know how to use that if you've been using the file, sort of. But I'll talk about that in another video because as I talk about all these different things here, that's going to be a whole other discussion. So matrix is, you know how to update the matrix now. Players pivot is going to show you all the players that are playing and their rating and their lines and stuff. That's pretty cool. So it has the Penguins on top right now. Interesting. Now the last one is standings. Okay. So the standing sheet is a website, and it is kind of annoying to go and extract this every day. It's this website, and you got to copy this. And if you're not in Google Chrome and on a Windows device, it might be different, and that sucks. But we'll see. So you copy that and you just paste it anywhere here. The match destination formatting. It pops up, and as long as there's a cell over here with a formula over here, it's going to work. Let me just bring it down. So this works, and this connects the new standings to the formulas. So all that is basically done at this point. And what you're left with is you're left with a daily odd sheet where you need goaltenders. And as you add them, you then paste this directly in here. Now, some people connect the cube and then disconnect it. So like you do this, you go in here, this way you don't have to update certain things because you've updated them already, for example. All right, watch this. So if you connect everything like this, now all of a sudden you've got a different time structure, which is annoying. Actually, I kind of want to stop that. I'll show you what I mean. So like you take the time of this game and see, put it there. See that. Oh yeah, boy, we really screwed everything up with time. Hold on a second. Let me back up for a second. Sometimes the reading of the time, it really becomes annoying. I don't know why the formatting changes, but let's do this. We're going to leave the times the way they were. I'm not too worried about those percentages changing. Well, basically, we're connecting the odds extractor to the cube so that it's easier when goalies change to just refresh the pivot and answer. And you know what? You are getting me to almost finish this video and do all the games. I think I might. All right. There aren't too many to go. For those of you who stuck around, we're going to do it. So at least expected goaltenders anyway. So what's happening here is I've just connected everything, right? So when you go to the results pivot sheet, and we don't want to look at today, we just got to refresh this stuff. And we're going to zoom in a second. We're going to look at the 17th. All right. And you can see there's a bunch of errors, but some of these games are good. And I know the power projected score is completely out of control and insane. And I know we don't have a goalie status yet because they're all expected. That's fine. Nobody's won the game yet. And what it's doing is the back-to-back game is going to all be a no because nobody played on Sunday also. So this is also wrong. You can see how this whole sheet dynamically updates as you update other things. So the point of what I just did, if you're still with me, is now all we need to do is put in goaltenders, and watch this. This will be funny. Let's X lookup and see what happens. So you can write an X lookup formula, all right? An X lookup, it's going to look up the team, and it's going to look up the team from the goalie stat sheet, and we're going to return the names. It's going to give you the first name because we don't care if we get the goalie actually right because we're just going with expected goaltenders. Wow, that just works. That's kind of cool. So in that sense, you could have a formula here that does this, but it's not going to be right. And you're going to want to re-override it with this formula, which is the hard formula that actually reads the goalie paste when you paste the goalie thing right here. And you bring that in. So you can do it two different ways. And I'm going to send out the version like this because this is kind of cool. And if you watch the video, you'll understand why this stuff is colored. And it's just weird, right? It's a different way of doing it. So these goalies are not like, for example, I don't think Spencer Knight's going to play. I think it's going to be Bobrovsky. But because we just did that, we have projections immediately. Bam. Um, and I don't think Pittsburgh will win 18-0 or even 9-0. So clearly stuff is distorted because this is super early in the season. Wow. But we'll just understand that the goals are going to be a mess here for a little bit until I figure out what to do about that. But it is showing you drastic disparities about what has happened this year. And that is cool to look at because it is so obviously saying things like, yes, you can actually take Toronto -1.5 or 2.5 against Arizona because Arizona is that bad this year. It's saying that Boston beats Florida the way they're playing. And you can see they're an underdog line. It says this is just a runaway, but I think St. Louis will play whatever. Anaheim Rangers should crush Anaheim. Here's a close game between two weaker teams. Unfortunately, Washington's only getting a 22. This is really cool to look at. Detroit should beat LA. Colorado running over Minnesota that put up the crazy game last night, 7-6. Dallas should beat Winnipeg and has a very strong rating with Ottinger going because he's a good goaltender. I know he's a good goaltender. Yep. There's some goaltenders I like. Ottinger, Husso. I think I like Charlie Lindgren with the Caps. I hope he goes, actually. I don't think he's going to go against Vancouver. They'll go with Kemper, but they're both good. Kemper I like too. Antti Ranta. In this game, it's Carolina over Seattle. So the only underdog it picked is Boston over Florida is the only one. And that kind of makes sense because Florida's a really good team and they have won one game, but Boston has won two, right? No, actually, they both won two. So these streaks should be correct. How long is it going to be before Arizona wins a game? Wow, that's a wager I'd think about making. You got to look at their schedule. Cool. All right, see this? This looks kind of pretty, right? So it'll change, and I hope this was a helpful video to show you exactly all the different things you can change and stuff that you can connect and how you can make this cube dynamic and connect it with other stuff so that your update process is easier. Because once they decide to go with Bobrovsky, let's say that I hard code over this and they go with Bobrovsky on Florida. All right. You can see it's good that I do this. So you put Bobrovsky here, and then you go back and refresh. And we were favoring Boston before. Now all of a sudden we're favoring Florida by score, even though it's still favoring Boston by adjusted power. But you see how the game just changed because Bobrovsky's a better goaltender. Awesome. Awesome. So all this stuff needs to be reevaluated once you get accurate, confirmed goalies in there. Cool. All right, guys, that's how to update the NHL algorithm. You can purchase the October subscription where you're going to get an email from me every day with this as I work on it and really refine the scoring because the scoring is clearly out of whack, but I don't know if there's anything I can do about that yet because there's only been a few games. But it's certainly something that probably is going to be need to be adjusted. I don't know if I need to mess around with the goalie amp factor or not. Yeah, no, I don't. Maybe 0.5. Yeah, we brought Pittsburgh down to 17.5 goals, made it a little more reasonable, right? I don't know. We'll have to see what we need to do with this. It's going to require some back testing as we get results in, but like things were good. I mean, yesterday was pretty good in a lot of ways. Like here's yesterday, 9-5. I mean, and yeah, and like by pick rank, it was so weird. Pick rank did amazingly awesome things yesterday. Yeah, Dallas was a loss that would have been up there, I think. But then it favored Nashville yesterday. I don't know, it's weird stuff. Dallas did win. Sorry, favored Nashville yesterday. I'm talking too long. All right, guys. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning. I hope you enjoyed the video on how to update this file. And if you have a copy of the file and you purchase the subscription, you have questions, I will answer basic questions. Extra coding stuff, I need to be compensated more to do because it's just I'm going to move on to other things now. I think hockey is going to be working pretty well, and you'll be able to kind of just watch over this, continue to paste in the stats, and update your matrix with the names as you go, and it's gonna pretty much be fun and reliable, and it's gonna give you an advantage just really seeing comparisons. I'm looking at this Vancouver Washington game, and I'm seeing Washington's rating at 22. And I'm thinking, yeah, we beat Montreal. We lost a couple other games though. Thatcher Demko's got a terrible goalie rating this year. All these goalie ratings are all out of whack too. Like look at this is fun to look at. It's really what it is because it gives you this super short-sighted, distorted view of the season this week. But people can have like a cold this week or be super healthy and have trained all spring training or all preseason and feel great, and then they're going to get hurt. Like there's a million things that are going to change, but it's nice to see like right off in the beginning of the season, how are people looking in a very, very distinct color pattern, because like Ottinger, phenomenal goaltender. He's actually getting a 103% rating because he's breaking records essentially compared to other goaltenders on the list. And the way things, Ranta, great start for Carolina, right? Cal Peterson, not so much. Did he give up 6 goals last night? I think he stayed in that entire game at Minnesota, but he got the win, right? Is that what happened last night? That's why he's got a low rating. Look at that. That game was funny. That game was 14 in the first period. Where's Cal Peterson? He gave away 6 and he's got 1 win, right? Jonathan Quick's got to be like, yo, dude, I got 2 losses and I've only been giving up 3.6 goals a game. You're doing up almost twice as many as me. You get a win? What's up with that? Minnesota has no defense? That's what he must be thinking. Anyway, all right, guys. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning. Purchase copies of the NHL algorithm to get copies of this because it will be helpful. And I'm not going to do videos every day about this. I'm going to be doing other stuff too. All right. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning.